What's up, nerds? Thanks for joining me on this new format that we're trying out on NerdSpace, 5-minute reviews. We're going to see how this goes. I might do some more in the future and start doing this more often, but basically we're going to take 5 minutes, do a quick review on a recent title, and I'm going to get your opinions in the comments of what you guys think about this format and the game I reviewed and my score. Anyways, without further ado, guys, let's jump straight into a 5-minute review on Jedi Survivor. So I want to go ahead and start off by saying that I think Jedi Survivor is a really good game, and I think it is a huge step up compared to its predecessor. But what I want to do right now is go over the pros and the cons for Jedi Survivor and then give you my final ranking as to what do I honestly think of this game. So let's start with the pros. First off, the open world. I think the open world is fantastic in Jedi Survivor, and it's definitely the best it's ever been in the series, especially when it comes to Jedha and Cobalt. I think these worlds are fantastic and are huge and immersive, and there's so much to do in these worlds with plenty of insane side quests and really cool cameos and plenty of twists and surprises during these side quests, some of them even bigger than the main story of the game. And there's so many different ways you can traverse this world, whether it be taming different creatures throughout the Star Wars lore, or even all the parkour elements of a Jedi, because honestly, you feel like a true badass as Cal when you're working that parkour game. Something else I really like about this game is the gameplay and how fluent it is, especially the combat. First off, you have so many different ways that you can fight as a Jedi in this game with 5 different stances plus 9 skill trees that you can work off of. So you have so much different combinations you can use as a Jedi in this game. So whether you prefer a long distance fight like myself with the blaster stance, or you just want to go slow but heavy powerful hits with the cross guard stance, you have so many different options to choose from and many force abilities with so many different skill tree options to go with. And let's not forget about the different enemy variations you have in this game. You have so many different types of enemies that I honestly lost count. Off the top of my head, you have Rancors, Mogus, battle droids, those hilarious comedic battle droids that are personally my favorite villains in the Star Wars lore.
I got it so easy. Guard the cliff, crush the locals, look at the scenery. Nobody's getting past me, not without a blaster hole in him. I wonder if I'll get promoted for doing such a good job. Then I'll get the other droids to guard the cliff. Oh, but then I won't see the scenery. Now that's a dilemma.
The last thing I want to talk about is the story and characters. I feel like the story is so much better than its predecessor, and I really enjoy the immersive story that it told. There was a lot of emotion and stakes, and there was amazing character developments. My personal favorite is definitely Cal's character development. I felt like him consistently battled with the darkness inside him, while also remembering the teachings of his master. There was just so much love about this character, and he had an amazing story to tell. One of the newer characters I also really like in terms of character development is Bode, and I think Bode has a fantastic backstory, and there's so much more that you learn about him throughout the game. I think he's probably my favorite character of this game. So I absolutely believe that this game was a great addition to the Star Wars lore. If they do decide to do another one, which I do think they will, I really cannot wait for the 3rd entry and hopefully the final, because I don't want this to drag on too long, honestly. Now let's talk about the cons. The first thing I want to mention is obviously, especially if you have the PC port, there's a lot of bugs and a lot of glitches and a lot of lags. A lot of complaints there. I personally didn't run into nearly as many as most people, but there are a decent amount that I did run into. None of them were really game breaking, but I have heard for the PC port specifically, a lot of people ran into them, and I think that's unfortunate. Another small thing I had to complain about has to do with the story. I know I mentioned the story and the character development was really good in my opinion. However, I have to admit it was a little predictable in a lot of different parts. Without jumping into too many of the spoilers, I wish there was some kind of way where the twist just didn't feel as predictable. There are a few things that did catch me off guard that I was shocked to learn about, but for the most part, some of these twists, yeah, you definitely saw them around the corner before they happened. The last thing I want to mention as far as something I didn't like about the game, I felt like the final phase of the game felt extremely rushed, and they didn't spend as much time as they should have near the end. But those are definitely my 3 biggest complaints for the game. But now let's get to my final review. What do I think of this game? And comparing it to different Star Wars games and open world games, I think going to go ahead and put this at an 8 out of 10. I think this game is really good. I think it released in a condition that it shouldn't have released in, but if you can get past those glitches and bugs, and once those things get fixed up, you have an amazing open world Star Wars game, which we haven't seen in a really long time. This is truly probably one of the best Star Wars games in 20-something years. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about this review, and let me know what your opinions are on this game. Do you think it's an 8 out of 10? Do you think it's better? Do you think it's worse? Love to know what you guys think. But as always, guys, thank you for joining me on this episode of Nerd Space, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.